told you there once existed a chariot that could race across all three realms, four divine horses, each representing the raw forces of nature, a discus or chakra that never missed its target, a conch or a shankh whose sound could shake entire armies to their core. Who possessed all this power? This is the story of Sri Krishna's divine chariot Jaitra, his charioteer Daruka, his celestial horses, his legendary weapons, and a Shakti, a power that remains a mystery even today. Sri Krishna's chariot Jaitra wasn't just a vehicle, it was a masterpiece of divine engineering. Ancient scriptures like the Puran and the Mahabharata describe it as a celestial gift bestowed upon Krishna by the gods themselves, Indra and Agni, to match his supreme divine form. This wasn't made of ordinary wood. It was forged from pure gold, embedded with cosmic gems. Its brilliance was so intense, it was said to shine like 1,000 suns, so blinding that enemies couldn't even look at it directly. But Jaitra wasn't limited to the earth itself. It could travel across all three realms, heaven, earth, and the netherworld. Neither the sky could stop it, nor the oceans. It could soar through the heavens and glide effortlessly across the surface of the sea. And it wasn't just fast, it was invincible, protected by divine mantras. No ordinary weapon could harm it. Behind every great warrior stands a charioteer, and Sri Krishna's charioteer was Daruka. But Daruka wasn't just a charioteer, he was the embodiment of devotion, a trusted companion who saw Sri Krishna not as a king, not as a relative, but as the supreme being himself. His skills were so extraordinary that he could steer the divine chariot across land, sky, and water, simply by understanding Sri Krishna's thoughts. Without a single command, during the Pandavas' exile, Daruka became a vital link between them and Sri Krishna. But his most emotional role came at the end of the Yadav dynasty, when a curse sealed Dwarka's destruction and everything began to collapse. Daruka was among the few who stayed till the very end. As Sri Krishna prepared to leave his mortal form, he gave Daruka one final instruction. Go to Hastinapur, inform Arjun that the Yadav dynasty has fallen and Dwarka will soon sink into the ocean. Tell him to come and save the remaining women and children. But leaving Krishna wasn't easy. Daruka's heart was filled with grief, and Krishna reminded him that this is the eternal cycle of creation. Daruka wasn't just a charioteer, he was a symbol of unwavering devotion, faith, and surrender. Now, let's talk about the four divine horses of Jaitra. These weren't ordinary horses, they were embodiments of cosmic forces. Shaivya, which was green in color, a symbol of prosperity and auspiciousness. Sugriv, golden, representing beauty and balance. Meghpushp, white like the clouds, symbolizing peace and the sky. Balahak, grey, representing power and thunder. Together, they represented the balance of nature itself. Atop the chariot waved the Garud flag, bearing the symbol of Garud, the mount of Sri Vishnu. This wasn't just a flag, it was a sign of divine protection, Shakti, and victory. And now come the divine weapons. Not just weapons, forces that even gods respected. Among this was the Sudarshan Chakra, a 108-edged spinning disc, not just a weapon, but the wheel of time and dharma. Once it locked onto a target, it never returned without destroying it. It was this very weapon that ended Shishupala's life, the Kaumodaki Gada, not just strength, but divine intelligence and control. When it struck, it shattered not just the body, but ego itself. The Nandak sword, the sword of knowledge, it cut through ignorance and revealed truth. The Sharang bow, every arrow released, guided by divine will. It never missed, because Dharma itself directed it. The Panchajanya conch, or Shankh. Its sound wasn't just a call to war, it was the Ghoshana of Dharma. A vibration so powerful, it shook the hearts of the unrighteous. The Narayanastra, a weapon so devastating, entire armies became helpless before it. The only way to survive it was to surrender before it. And finally, the Mohanastra, also called the Jrimbhanastra, a weapon that could end war without bloodshed. It could plunge enemies into sleep, bhram, or paralysis. Legends even say it once made Lord Shiva yawn. Let us now listen to a shlok which explains the divinity of Sri Krishna's divine astras. Sudarshanam Chakradharam Gadapanim Mahabalam Shankadhanvamyavyaktam Panchajanya Dhvanipriyam Nandakam Chasidharam Tam Narayanam Namamyaham. The meaning of this shlok is, I bow to Narayan, who holds the Sudarshan Chakra, the Gada, the Sharang bow, loves the sound of Panchajanya, and wields the Nandak sword. So this was the story of Sri Krishna's divine chariot, his charioteer, and his celestial weapons, and a power that was never meant just for war, but for the establishment of Dharma. If you love powerful stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like our video. Namaskar.